Hello, and welcome back to the Botspot. Today we're going to continue our series on useful Christianity with perseverance. Do not fear any of those things which you are about to suffer. Indeed, the devil is about to throw some of you into prison, that you may be tested, and you will have tribulation 10 days. Be faithful unto death, and I will give you the crown of life. He who has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says to the churches. He who overcomes shall not be hurt by the second death. This comes from Revelation chapter 2, verses 10 and 11, and is God speaking to the church of Smyrna, a church that is poor financially and faces hypocritical condemnation, yet God considers them a rich church. So too are those who persevere in the trials and struggles of this life. Notice how the forms of trials and the amount suffering each trial differs. However, the advice is the same. Be faithful unto death, and I will give you the crown of life. The same is true for us. What I suffer most likely isn't what you suffer, and vice versa. However, regardless of what we suffer, there are two results: overcoming and surrendering to it. Job is a great example of perseverance. He had several forms of suffering placed upon him. First, Satan attacks his riches and his family, yet he does not sin. The second form of suffering comes from Satan's physical attack on him. Job has painful boils all over his body, yet again, he does not sin. His third form of suffering is one we're most likely to experience regularly: the suffering those around us tempting us to sin. From his wife telling him to curse God and die, to his friends giving poor advice, even going as far as to say he deserved this due to sin. Job chapter 4, verses 7 through 9. Remember now, whoever perished being innocent? Or, where were the upright ever cut off? Even as I have seen, those who plow iniquity and sow trouble reap the same. By the blast of God they perish, and by the breath of his anger they are consumed. We need to remember the end of Job's suffering. He was given riches far beyond what he had prior to this test. But what I'd like us to consider is that in all of this, Job did not sin, nor charge God with wrong. Job chapter 1 and verse 22. The application here isn't health and wealth. However, if we do live lives acceptably to God, whether in good times or ill, our eternity will be rich, far beyond what short-term gain could be given by succumbing to the trial or temptation. And that's just it. Our goal is to, as found in Hebrews chapter 12, verses 1 and 2, therefore, we also, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which so easily ensnares us, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who, for the joy that was set before him, endured the cross, despising the shame, and is sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. Our next message in this series will be on godliness. Thank you for your attention.